Hey guys, Adventure Brad, Little Shackleton the Explorer. Let's talk road trips. So yeah, this is to the people that are contemplating doing a road trip, going anywhere, going to see something, going overnight, going to do something. First off, not a big deal. That's the biggest thing. The number one thing you could click off of this episode after I tell you this next thing. This is the magic trick to exploring cross country. Attitude's everything. If you got the right attitude, you got it happen. How many people have hitchhiked across country? How many people have walked across the country? Yeah, but look at this country. This is the country that I'm traveling in. This is just beautiful. We're east of Tucson, just short of the Mexico border, and yeah, it's a lovely drive. So let me kind of recap back at the beginning. When I was a young little wee lad, I was very lucky to have a traveling and exploring family. There's a picture of me camped at Lake Tahoe, which is like 10 hours from where I was born. Like at 3 weeks old, like I can't even like do a push-up yet, and I'm just like flopping around on the beach at Lake Tahoe. Like my family were a traveling family, and I'm very thankful for that. My uncle had a house about 4 hours away from where I grew up, Lake Havasu, and we used to trip out there, and for some reason that 4-hour drive was just murder to me as a kid. I was just so ADD, just so all over the place. And it's kind of tough just to, when you think about it, I'm gonna sit in the car, like right now, the trip that I'm on is 22 hours, 24 hours or something like that. Like, no, I'm not doing that in a day or in one shot. But yeah, that's the thing, is like, it's your perspective changes after a while. Now I'm kind of to the point where it takes me at least a state or so, probably 2 states, if I'm in a new vehicle, to really kind of get the seat where I want it. This Tacoma doesn't have the dent in it like the Suburban did after like 100,000 miles of driving that truck. And that truck, just for you old Suburban fanatics, she's still going strong. She's not out to pasture. She's just being recreated. She'll be back. But I got this kind of for the long haul and road trips, do a little more exploring, independence, nice. But anyways, I don't even have a dent in this thing yet. And on that spot, every couple hours when you're driving on a road trip, reach down and click your seat into a different position. Move your backrest, just one click, up, down, from either side of your normal comfortable position, and you will really be, don't do it at a critical point of flight, like on an on-ramp or something, but do it like when you're nice, flat level, there's no cars next to you, move your seat around. The other big trick to road tripping is, have some stuff ready. I got my little trash bucket there that doubles as my bail boat bucket because there's a sailboat behind us. I got my ice chest, I got my dog. I just stopped off and got some of Dwayne's really good venison jerky. Every 3 hours, don't go more than 4, especially like the Suburban. That thing's 43-gallon gas tank. I could cross states with that thing. Don't do that to yourself. Don't run to the next gas station. Stop every 3-4 hours max. My last stop was about 2.5 hours because my dog was looking at me weird. Turned out he was really thirsty. He didn't drink enough this morning, so he sucked down another water bowl real quick and was happy to get back in the truck and get back on the road. But yeah, get out. Even if you just get out, do one lap around the vehicle. I'm a big fan of, like at gas stations, when I got out and do that, I put my hand on the tire and I put my hand on the hub, like the lug nut area, that center of that lug nut. If it's plastic, that won't do anything, so touch the lug nuts. Make sure they're all evenly warm. If you got a tire problem that's showing up, that tire will be hot. If you have a wheel bearing or a brake issue showing up, that'll be hot. It's just, that's physics. Ask a physics person, how does a car go? It's the tires. How does a car stop? The brakes. They go through the tires. Like, your tires are very important. So when you do those little stops, stretches to get out, walk around, make a lap around the vehicle, kind of visually inspect everything, make sure everything looks kind of normal, make sure you don't have like part of your bumper, especially all nowadays, these plastic car bumpers. If you lip one, like you back off of one of those car parking bumpers, and you lip one of your bumper and kind of catch and break a couple of those plastic clips off, Well, now you're driving down the road at 70, 75 miles an hour. If you're in Utah, you're doing 85. I'm towing right now, so I'm not doing that. But that thing will work itself loose and tear itself up. So that kind of brings me into my next point, is vehicle prep and what you should take with you. One, if your vehicle's in generally good shape, you drive it to work. I'm not talking about 2 minutes. It doesn't drive sideways. You're the type of person that either maintains it itself, which is better because you're intimate with your vehicle, or you have a good shop that you have a good relationship that goes over the vehicle. Somebody that that you trust, because you kind of you don't want to go over to the vehicle and spend 20 hours putting a wrench on everything. But if it's something you normally drive, you normally keep up on, and either yourself or the shop you have a good relationship with is generally good about looking over things and keeping an eye on things, you're probably good to go. I don't care if it's young or old. My Suburban is a 1990 for what it's worth. And that thing's got over 300,000 miles on it. Well, obviously I maintain the heck out of it, but I got no problem jumping in that thing and running across country in it. Like, that thing's been to Alaska 6 times. So don't think that you have to have this new vehicle either. Just make sure it's in good shape. Tires are a good thing, a big thing. I left on this trip. I've towed this boat like 12 hours already. The tires look great. They're 6 years old, which is about the end of what you want to do for trailer tires. And like right into the trip, I had that blowout. Blowouts happen. It's just kind of the nature of the thing. Had a blowout, stopped and picked up a couple tires. Got 2 freshies on there now. I actually just went to Old Harbury Freight and got some fresh tires because they're cheaper and pre-mounted, even with rims on them, than it was to go to a tire shop. So we just did that. But check your vehicle over. The next thing you want to do is have some sort of little tool bag. The tires that I bought at Harbor Freight weren't fully inflated. And again, the sidewall pressure, that's a whole different thing. But they weren't inflated to be adequate to carry the load that I was putting them under. So fired up my little compressor, had the thing for a couple of years, and it's just a little cheap, cheesy compressor. And it died about 75% of the way through of doing the first one, or the second one. So I had to go back into Harbor Freight. Luckily, I just was dealing with all this in their parking lot, bought myself another compressor. But a good compressor, obviously the big thing is make sure you have tire tools to change your tires. If you have aftermarket lug nuts, aftermarket wheels, make sure your factory stuff that's like under the seat, in the trunk, under the hood, or whatever fits it, and that you can or you are familiar with it. And on that subject, a tire, a wheel, your vehicle is not worth your life. This side right here, it was about twice that when I pulled over to fix my tire. If I had a flat right here with this amount of traffic coming down this road today, I would be kind of questionable on changing it. If I had to pull out like that gravel back there I could have got down into to change the tire, cool. The other thing is, don't make things worse. Don't have the vehicle fall off onto you, set the e-brake, all that. This is not a tire changing video, but pay attention to that. Every time one of these big trucks goes by, it's gonna rock your rig. Even though I blocked up my jack, I had a good base on it. I even found a piece of rubber on the side of the road to put between my top of my jack, which was metal, and the frame of the trailer, so it wouldn't slip out. As I was doing it down on the gravel side, every truck just walked the thing over just a little bit on that stand, and it was kind of a little race, so I didn't drop the trailer on the side of the road. So, make sure all your jacking equipment, tire changing equipment are in good shape, that your spare's in good shape, that it's got air in it. Because like I said, tires are the number one thing you're going to have a problem with on a road trip if your vehicle's maintained, is really because you hit these big things like this. If you're up north, you deal with frost heaves. The desert is like a lot harder to cross, is harder on vehicles than about any other part of the country short of the high north, where you deal with frost heaves. Frost heaves are hard on vehicles, but down in the desert, the sun just beats the road so much. If they get that top layer of asphalt gone, or it's just gravel, it shakes your vehicle to death. So just be mindful of good tires and stuff. Tool bag. Carry a basic tool bag with you. Throw some pliers in it, throw some zip ties in it, throw some baling wire, a hammer, some pliers, a short little hacksaw blade. If you hit something and it catches your bumper, and now part of the bumper bracket or something down close to your tire. It's going to shred it up or whatever. You know, now you got a hammer, you can kind of smash out of the way. You got a hacksaw, like you can grip with the hacksaw blade, you grip with vice grips. You can make a little cut or two. You'd be really surprised what you could do to keep rolling, to get to a service station or, you know, whatever. Even if you don't think you're mechanical, throw a tool bag together. You'd be surprised if, as soon as on this trip, because the flat tire, I was going to go up the tire size. I didn't know if it'd fit. When I was leaving the house, I eyeballed my tape measure. I'm like, why would I need a tape measure? I didn't throw it in the tool bag. So I bought a $1.99 tape measure at Harbor Freight so I could measure my tires and wheels to make sure it would fit in my fender. So just, you know, little things like that. You don't have to take the whole toolbox, but a few things can make a big difference. The other thing is carry plenty of water. I got water squirreled away in this whole truck. You can sit on the side of the road for a long time, especially on the side of the road. If you're really in trouble, just flag the next car down. But if you wander off the beaten path or anything, water is really what you could survive without food a long time. Water, food, the hungers for food you can ignore. You start getting down on water, you start getting dehydrated, you will think funny, you will only think about water. Your vision will be very clouded, your judgment will be down, your energy will be down, you'll be irritable. It's hangry on a different level. You get hungry enough, your body will kind of just pass it and kind of can just deal with it in the background. Not with water, so do not get behind on water. Carry a set of gloves. I got a set of gloves right here. And I keep them right in the door, because anytime I got to get out, grab, do anything, I don't want to get my hands all dirty. So it's easier to have gloves. It's a good way to protect your hands. But again, back to all that, it's just attitude is everything. Now let's get into, as you guys keep sliding off my dash every time we go over these wonderful desert roads, let's get into what you actually need to take on your trip. Your toothbrush, your hairbrush, whatever medications, if you're dependent on medications, take twice at a bare minimum if you're going to civilization areas of what you need. If you're going remote, this video is not for you. You need a lot more than that. But take whatever you expect, however long you expect to be out there, take twice that amount of meds with you. Separate them, put them in separate safe spots, because if you depend on meds, that's a very important thing to you. Take your toothbrush, take your deodorant, take your normal toiletry stuff. It's not that important, you know, that you don't need anything special there. You don't need to get some super camping toothpaste. Baby wipes, that is a secret. If you've made it this far in the video, baby wipes, they are magical. I got some right down there, I got some in the truck, I got some back with my food bag. Baby wipes are so indisposable for so many things. Take some of them. And that's the only real thing you're going to need on top of that. If you're sleeping in your car, you know, or lay out a nice area to sleep in, get comfortable. You know, sometimes cutting a little piece of plywood or an old folding table or something like that that you could use for a makeshift bed is great. Grab the comforter off your bed at home. You know, grab some blankets. One thing for longer road trips I really noticed is sheets, and like those sheets that are folded in like burrito style. They're sewn up into a burrito and they're meant to go in sleeping bags. I carry a couple of those with me because it's a lot easier to change those out, keep your bedding feeling fresh when you crawl into it at night, and those are easy to wash. It's not like washing a big old giant sleeping bag, so use those as like liners. You know, socks, clothes. If you're going into a warm climate, carry at least one pair of pants, socks, shoes. If you're a flip-flop guy like me that lives in flip-flops, still take a pair of shoes, have them handy. You never know when you might need them. And that's it. I'm not even getting into the stoves and all that, because you could literally stop at KFC your whole trip, get chicken, leave it in the bucket, floorboard your car for an hour or two. It's not going to spoil. And yeah, just cruise on and look, the way station. I think we're getting close to New Mexico. But yeah, you know, food's pretty simple. Don't go crazy with that. I eat a lot of like jerky, stuff I can snack on. I got a bag of chips down on the floor. Grapes are wonderful because they're great finger food. they're easy to find if you actually drop one between the seat. The next turnout, you're not like digging out trail mix crumbs. Grapes are nice. They keep it rehydrated, fresh. I got some guava juices. You want to, stay fresh. Be careful pounding sugary things, caffeine-y things are going to make you crash off. Those will, you don't want to be doing one of these cycle-y things with your, those are bad anyways. But, take it easy on yourself. Kind of be prepared. Don't set this breakneck pace for yourself either. When I estimate a road trip, I plan about 50 miles an hour, that I can cover 50 miles an hour. That includes stops, that includes getting on and off the freeway, the little walking around, fuel stops. Depending on how remote you are, do not go below a quarter of a tank, even in relatively civilized areas. If you're like remote and you're crossing Alaska or anything like that, know where your fuel stops are. Do not go below a half a tank. Yes, a half a tank. It's annoying to be stopping that much, but I've been places in Alaska where even with the Suburban 43 gallons, I've missed 2 fuel stops. And one of the card kiosks I was going through there in the wintertime, one was closed because the power was out, and the second one was frozen up. So I literally missed 2 fuel stops that I kind of depended on. And then you get into some bad, that's another, the coldest I've ever been in my life was a night out below 35 in Delta because I made a wrong turn. So make sure you know where you're going. And that kind of leads me into my next point is, even though I am taking the 10 freeway due east for the next day and a half, I still run maps in the background. It alerts me to police. Not that I'm necessarily worried about police, but people act funny around cop cars. The other thing is pay attention to truckers. If they start slowing up or doing something, they're not as good as they used to be and all CBing each other. But truckers generally kind of know what's up. If they're slowing down, they're doing something, pay attention to them. The maps is good for letting you know of objects on the road. Any slowdowns. It's just kind of nice to know what you're up against. It's real easy to, like, if Maps is up and running, touch screen, zoom in. Oh, I see a road. Oh, it's got a big blank spot next to it. We're pulling off. So that makes it real handy. There's apps like iOverlander, The Dirt, Free Campsites, Onyx Off-Road. There's all kinds of plethora of apps that you can use to find campsites, look for campsites. If you find a good turnout or something that you like, mark it on your maps. Put it point of interest, because you may back through there in a year or two to come and be like, that was a great spot. It had a little bit of shade, space for the dog to run around, whatever. So, that sort of thing. And saunter. Do not try to make your trip where it's like this push or a goal. Sometimes I know with work schedules or you're trying to be somewhere, you kind of got to push. But I've had some of my most enjoyable experiences sauntering. And that's why I figure 50 miles an hour. Some days I'll drive 4 hours, some days I'll drive 6, some days I'll drive 12 or 14. All depends. I was up on the road this morning before 7. We got, we're 3.5 hours in. Not drive time. We're about out for about a half hour for fuel and jerky and dog leg stretching. But still, it's easy to cover a few miles. I'm going to stop here midday, cook up some lunch, maybe even take a little nap laying back in the boat. That sort of thing. The other thing about sauntering is I've found some of the neatest places by wandering into the little local places, talking to the locals, and just chatting with people. Just be like, hey, so where do you hang out? Where do you go? Where's the neat spot around here? Is there a good view up here? Hey, I'm road tripping and I kind of want a campsite off away from the night. And you'll notice who you can talk to. And some people are very and then other people are very much like, oh yeah, this is the spot you go, and this is where you go, and yada da da da. So be open to that. Don't have such a set itinerary, because if you could swerve off and check out something, off in the distance, heck yeah, that's kind of a neat rig. Little observation port bus, and it looks like they're having a tire problem or something, which sucks, but at least they're safely in a rest stop. So anyways, things are starting to look New Mexico-ish, so I think I crossed the line by not talking to you guys a little bit, not paying attention. But anyways, I hope you guys get out on road trips. Don't be scarred. Just enjoy. Like I said, KFC for dinner, the comforter off your bed, comfortable sleeping spot, baby wipes, and a really good attitude. You got it. All right, guys, we'll see you on the road.